All right. Did you check out the fight? Subriel Matias versus Ponce. Did you check the fight out? If you didn't, I'm sorry. You should have listened when I told you that you needed to. Because I'm not going to say like fight of the year. Although it was a good fight, I can't say fight of the year. But this is a fight worth watching. If you can catch it after the fact, I do recommend you do so because this was a hell of a fight. I don't know what Ponce was thinking in the game plan. So I'm going to just talk about what I saw and feel free to leave comments. Here's what I saw. It felt like the game plan for Ponce was to try to out muscle Matias. And I don't know why that made any damn sense. Here's why. Matias he's an aggressor. That's that. But he also has a solid chin. He can go to war. He can take shots and go to war and come back and do what he does. So it just feels like that was a terrible strategy to try to beat him at his own game. It feels like Ponce had really only one choice, which was to clean outbox him, stay away from the power, keep him at range, set up shots, look for traps. He didn't do that. It felt like they just planned we were just going to go to war and try to take the dude out at his own game, and that was not going to work. And I think it was a very dangerous strategy, especially when you think about what happened to Dadashev. And if you don't know the story of Dadashev went to war with Matias, and Dadashev suffered some brutal injuries, and he got put in a coma. He died shortly after. Round 11 is when Buddy McGirt stopped that fight, but he was taking brutal shots too. It's like Matias is on another level when you talk about just a power fighter that's a danger, that's right there in your face, and he's not going to back down. That's Matias. That's why I was so excited seeing him on the card and really gunning for him to get a win. But I expected that Ponce was going to use his advantages to outbox him, and he didn't. And I think that was a bad game plan. It's after the fact now. But hopefully, if you did get a chance to see the fight, you see why I was so excited to see him, Matias, because I knew that we were going to see a barn burner because the dude just seems to go out there and he's like, he gets no credit. He gets no hype. Like if you think of guys like Lomachenko, guys like Crawford, guys like Boots, like these guys, they get all kinds of crazy levels of hype, like to the moon. But with someone like Matias, very few people know about him. He doesn't get the same level of hype, even though the dude is caliber, man. And it should be clear if you watch this one and his past fights, he's caliber. He's legit. He's serious. And more to the point, like his wins, like with Crawford, he's got asterisks next to every single 147. Matias has no asterisk. He puts a stamp on it. He puts a stamp every single time he goes out there, just like Beterbiev. Same thing. It's like certain guys, and they don't get that same recognition like they should because too much hype is put around people like Bumbanga, right? Or, I'll even call Blair Cobbs, even though I'm a fan of his. I think he got the hype machine to a degree, not to the degree of like a Bumbanga, but I don't know why Matias, doesn't get more screenplay. He deserves more than what he's getting. He's a junior welterweight. He's a really young guy. He's got his career ahead of him. And I wish he got more opportunities to be in the spotlight and showcase. And I wish that the media would stop overhyping other fighters for being flashy. And they would spotlight fighters like this for being effective, consistently effective, no asterisks. The dude, he has the one loss. Other than that, he's never been, and even there, it was a war. Like it could have, So I like him as a guy. I think he's a great dude. I'm a big fan of his, and I wish he gets more opportunities. Hopefully this win will give him more and give him more spotlight, and people in the media will start recognizing him for what he is, which is the kind of fighter that we should want in the game. That's hungry, like truly hungry. You can tell he's going out there. He's hungry. Like if you remember old day Danny Jacobs before when he fought Pirog, Danny Jacobs used to be a hungry fighter. He used to be really going out there. So when he fought Quillen and blitzed him like nothing, he looked like a next level. And then all of a sudden he started to decline after he made a lot of money. I see Matias as kind of that level prior to when some of the fighters start making big bank, where they're just hungry and they know they got to go out there and make a name and make a statement. That's what I see of Matias. And he feels like he's a threat in his division, possibly a threat in future 147 if he chooses to move up. But kudos to Matias for an amazing performance, not even just a win, but a performance overall. And for Ponce's team, I'm not going to beat him down. I guess I'll respect him for trying to go to war. I just felt like it was a stupid strategy against this guy. But I can't hate the balls. It's like I got balls to go out here and go toe to toe. But Matias is just on another level. And if you get a chance, check YouTube, check some of Matias's previous fights. I do recommend that you do. Just get up on the dude because I think he is going to be a player in the future. And then the story of the fight, of course, is that Prograis, of course, Josh Taylor ducked Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall's trying to get Regis Prograis in the ring. Regis Prograis was talking about, I'd like to fight Matias someday. That's a hell of a fight, folks, because I like Regis Prograis too. I think the world of him. That's a hell of a fight. I don't even know how to call that one because Prograis is on another level too, skill wise. But then Prograis, he takes an L, loses his title. At the same time, Prograis still is that dude. When he gets in the ring, he's still that dude, just like Matias. So that's a hell of a fight. I just don't think it's going to happen. But Matias then responded and he said, you know what? It's your turn now. Quote, I'm the new world champion. I promise you I will hurt you. Prograis likes to talk a lot about how he hurts his opponents. I have that same mentality. We'll see who prevails, but I want him to know there are crazier people in the sport. It's never going to happen probably because Matias, I'm pretty sure he's PBC. And then, of course, Regis Prograis, I don't know who he's with, but I don't think he's PBC. I think he's somebody else. So chances are it's never going to happen. It's too bad. There was talk about having a super series for 140 again to try to get these guys in the ring. If that happens, maybe we get that fight, but I doubt it happens. But if we do get that fight, Prograis and Matias, that's a hell of a fight. And because Matias has never gotten that platform like he should have, we're never going to get the same level of hype around those two like we should. Meanwhile, we're talking about freaking Teofimo, who took an L to Cambosis and then struggled with Sander Martin. We're hyping those guys over there. We're not celebrating these guys who truly are the warriors who put the spirit of boxing back into the sport. And if you're listening to this, I think you should give kudos to guys like a Prograis, like a Matias, even like a Catterall, the ones who are going out there and they're being the warriors, but they're not getting the same level of hype. They're not getting the same platform, the marketing machine behind them. It's crap. It is what it is. But let's all hope we get Prograis and Matias in the ring someday. Of course, I do want to see if, obviously Taylor's going to duck Catterall. I do want to see Catterall get his chance at some level of stardom now that we've seen what he can do. So he's in the mix. So 140 starting to heat up, folks. 135 is kind of dying off ever slightly ever since Devin Haney did his thing. 130 is kind of dying off a little bit, but it's kind of coming back. But 140 is starting to get hot and heavy. 147 is stale. So 140, I think, is the division to start looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the future holds.